Thank you, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor. Before I begin, I'd like to make it, I just want to make a remark that we have two Garins in this August chamber, one Deputy Speaker and another Secretary of Energy. So it is very nice to know that there are two Garins in this August hall. Anyway, I'll just proceed with the questions. The major programs of the DOE in the NEP are eight programs, namely National and Regional Energy Planning Program, Conventional Energy Development Program, Renewable Energy Development Program, Downstream Energy Development Program, Electric Power Industry Development Program, Energy Efficiency and Conservation Program, Alternative Fuels and Technologies Program, and lastly, Electric Vehicle Industry Development Program. It seems that the Department of Energy has been growing in the past decade or so in terms of policies or programs. And it is apparent from its program commitments that there are substantial programs being funded in the coming year. So my first question is, what are some of the upcoming and urgent investment commitments of the department that will ensure better utilization for its national scale programs?
Madam Speaker, based on the utilization rate of DOE, all programs are being implemented, and they're quite consistent in the last 3 years in terms of utilization. 95%.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Under the present law, the Department of Energy has been given the authority to implement various laws to increase our supply to a more diverse set of energy sources. It has been shown that while the DOE has been able to reach its targets for the past fiscal year, there is more to be done insofar as the implementation of laws towards a stable and diverse supply. What commitments will the department have in the coming year to secure a more sustainable sources of energy?
Based on the target of DOE, if the renewable energy is one of the programs that could assure future demands and capacity, including indigenous sources such as gas, oil, and hydrogen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor. On the commitment to provide affordable access to electricity, the performance indicators of the DOE report that its targets have been reached and surpassed in many instances. At the moment, its targets across national level programs show low targets, suggesting that some of the programs are still in their beginning stages. I saw a table in the NEP, table 10, showing the performance indicators of your major programs. The question is, while the department reports its accomplishments, its commitment to provide access leaves so much to be desired. The outcomes reported under the national level programs of the DOE are unable to show the burden that the department has, that DOE are unable to show the burden that the department has for the sector, especially for household electrification. How does the department plan to meet greater targets for its nationwide intensification of household electrification program?
Madam Speaker, DOE's mission is total electrification. One of the programs of DOE is through NIA, is the total electrification, sitio and barangay electrification. And with the new program now, the photovoltaic mainstreaming is also ongoing. And however, the budget, the target of the DOE for total electrification and the corresponding budget is around 71 billion. But the budget to be utilized by DOE every year is quite limited. So 2 to 3 billion a year. However, this year, they are quite lucky because the House of Representatives during the BARC deliberation added additional 4 billion for the sitio electrification. So the total to be implemented would be 9 billion. But that is still short if we are going to target total electrification with a 70 million budget. So you need at least 10 billion in the next 5 years.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Apart from the issue on electrification, yung persistent power interruptions still very much remain a problem in most communities. Nananatili ang issue ng grid congestion, kaugnay na rin ng pangangailangang mapalawak ang transmission facilities para mas mabisang maihatid ang serbisyo ng utilities. Kaugnay po sa mga isyong ito, paano masisiguro ng departamento ang pananagutan ng mga may hawak at may-ari ng serbisyo, lalo na sa mga pagpapaunlad sa kanilang mga pasilidad at pagparusa din sa mga ito para sa mga kakulangan sa serbisyo na ginagarantiya nila sa mga consumer?
So part of the budget for sitio electrification will be dedicated to enhance the lines in the barangay for efficient distribution to end users. And I think regarding the use, NIA, they oversee all the distribution utilities, and they always assist, they always evaluate the status of co-ops to make sure that they provide the efficient and efficient standard. And they also have the key performance indicators.
Thank you for that assurance, distinguished sponsor. At bilang panghuling tanong po, this representation would like to take note that the cost of electricity in our country remains high for the consuming public. Sabi nga nila, mataas pa rin ang presyo ng kuryente dito sa rehiyon ng Asia, dito sa bahagi ng Asia. At gusto ko sana bilang isa sa mga ligasiya ng Administrasyong Marcos, sana sa huling 3 taon ng kanyang administrasyon ay magkaroon naman sana ng nararamdamang pagbaba ng presyo ng kuryente dahil ito ay nananatiling matinding pasanin pa rin ng nakararaming mga Pilipino. At kami po ay naghain ng mga panukalang batas mula pa nung nakaraang kongreso na naglalayon po na ibaba ang presyo ng kuryente. Tulad po dyan yung pag-alis ng ang tawag dito, yung system loss. Ngayon pong kongreso na ito, yung mungkahi namin na alisin ng VAT, 12% VAT sa kuryente, at yung pong threshold na Kung nakaka 2 kilowatts lang naman ang isang household, baka pwede na pong i-waive yung pag-charge sa mga households na ito. Nung minungkahi po ito sa harap ni DOF Secretary Ralph Recto, parang siya naman po ay amenable sa mga mungkahing ito. Ito po kayang mga ganitong mungkahi ay doable. At sana naman po ay bago matapos ang administrasyon ni Pangulong Marcos ay makaramdam ng ginhawa ang ating mga kababayan at makaramdam talaga sa pag dumating ng kanilang electric bill ay totoo. Talagang may ginawa ang administrasyong ito para ibaba ang presyo ng kuryente sa ating bansa.
Madam Speaker, any reforms, any laws that would lower the cost of electricity is welcome and will be supported by DOE. However, at present, we have what we call the lifeline rate applicable to the marginalized household. And all they have to do now is register with the different distribution utilities. If they qualify that they are marginalized, then they will get a discount.
Are the consumers informed of this lifeline rate, of this
Right now, Madam Speaker, DOE and NIA is actively disseminating information through the different distribution utilities. And with the different distribution utilities that they can apply with that program, and DOE and NEA now is simplifying the procedure so it would be easier for them to avail of the lifeline rate.
Salamat po sa mga kasagutan, distinguished sponsor, Madam Speaker. At I would like to end my interpellation with a manifestation of support. Ako naman po ay nakakaramdam na sincero ang ating Department of Energy na talagang gagawin nilang lahat para maibaba ang presyo ng kuryente sa ating bansa. At naniniwala ako sa kanilang commitment na sa huling 3 taon ng Administrasyong Marcos ay magiging consumer-centric na at nakatuon sa interes ng mga consumers ang kanilang iniisip. Para sa ating kababayan talaga ang iniisip ng Department of Energy. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Congressman Marcoleta. Majority Leader?
Madam Speaker, may we acknowledge Honorable Presley C. De Jesus of PhilReca Party